What's going on, Wrestling Maniacs? Welcome back to WWE Drama, your #1 destination for all the chaos, brutality, and absolute insanity that makes this business the most unpredictable show on earth. And if you haven't smashed that subscribe button yet, seriously, what are we doing here? Because today we're diving headfirst into a story so shocking, so brutal, so completely unhinged that it has literally broken the internet and left the entire WWE Universe questioning everything they thought they knew about dominance in professional wrestling. We're talking about Brock Lesnar, the beast incarnate himself, unleashing the most vicious, unexpected, and career-altering attack on Bronson Reed that showcased exactly why his name still sends shivers down the spines of every superstar in that locker room. This wasn't just another beatdown, people. This was a masterclass in psychological warfare wrapped in pure, unfiltered violence that reminded everyone why Brock Lesnar is still the most terrifying predator in WWE history. So grab your favorite snacks, get comfortable, and make sure you hit that like button because we're about to break down every bone-crushing detail of this absolute mayhem that has fans, superstars, and even WWE management scrambling to figure out what just happened and what it means for the future of the entire company. Now let me paint the picture for you here. Brock Lesnar has always been that ultimate alpha predator in WWE. The guy whose explosive power and merciless aggression have literally defined entire eras of wrestling entertainment. But what we witnessed wasn't just vintage Brock being Brock. This was the beast taking his already terrifying reputation and cranking it up to 11 in the most disturbing way possible. On the other side, we had Bronson Reed, this absolute powerhouse who's been one of WWE's brightest rising stars, combining incredible brute strength with shocking agility that had fans believing he was destined for main event stardom. Reed had been stacking victories, building unstoppable momentum, and earning respect from both fans and peers who were convinced this guy was about to break through into the upper echelon of the company. But destiny took a detour straight into Destruction City when these two forces of nature collided. And let me tell you, it wasn't pretty. The tension had been building for weeks, with wrestling Twitter going absolutely insane, speculating that these two monsters were on an inevitable collision course. And when that collision finally happened, it exploded into chaos that nobody saw coming. Picture this scene. Bronson Reed had just finished celebrating a major victory. The crowd was chanting his name like he just won the lottery. His confidence was sky high, and his future looked brighter than a supernova. That's when the entire atmosphere in that arena shifted, like someone had just opened a portal to hell. Because Brock Lesnar didn't wait for his music to hit, didn't wait for an invitation, didn't even bother with dramatic entrances. This maniac just stormed that ring like a hurricane of pure destruction and unleashed an assault that felt like watching a lion tear apart its prey on National Geographic. We're talking suplex after suplex, strike after strike, with Lesnar mauling Reed like he owed him money from a poker game gone wrong. Each impact echoed through that arena like thunder, drawing gasps from fans who could barely process the violence they were witnessing. But here's what made this truly terrifying. This wasn't about winning a match or settling a score. This was psychological warfare at its most brutal level. This was Brock Lesnar sending a message written in blood and broken bones that he's still the top predator in this jungle. And nobody, whether you're a rookie trying to make a name, a veteran with decades of experience, or a certified legend, is safe from his wrath when he decides to hunt. The aftermath was immediate and absolutely explosive across every social media platform you can imagine. Fans were flooding timelines with shock, disbelief, and raw emotion that ranged from pure admiration to genuine concern for human welfare. Some were praising Lesnar's return to his most brutal roots, calling it the most intense moment WWE had delivered all year, while others were expressing deep worry for Bronson Reed, who was left looking like he'd been hit by a freight train carrying concrete blocks.
Twitter was going nuclear with comments like, "Brock is an absolute monster. Nobody brings intensity like this beast," competing with "Bronson Reed never stood a chance against pure destruction," while even WWE superstars couldn't stay silent. Seth Rollins himself jumped on Twitter saying, "Brock is a beast, but this was something completely different." While Rhea Ripley added, "Sending good vibes to Bronson, that was genuinely hard to watch." The entire wrestling industry found itself divided down the middle like someone had taken a chainsaw to public opinion. Some fans were seeing Lesnar's rampage as vintage storytelling gold that reminded everyone why wrestling can be genuinely dangerous and unpredictable, while others were questioning whether WWE had crossed that thin line between entertainment and actual bodily harm that could have serious consequences. So here's the million-dollar question that has everyone from casual fans to wrestling journalists scratching their heads. Was this attack purely about Brock Lesnar flexing his dominance muscles, or is there some deeper, more calculated storyline brewing beneath the surface? Because if there's one thing we know about WWE, they absolutely thrive on unpredictability. And this shocking moment could be the opening chapter of either a massive rivalry between Lesnar and Reed, or it could be setting up Brock to target even bigger names in what might become the most destructive rampage in recent memory. Could this lead to an epic showdown with Roman Reigns that fans have been demanding for years? Could Lesnar be planning to reignite his legendary war with Seth Rollins that produced some of the most memorable matches in WWE history? Or is he carving out completely new territory by systematically breaking down rising stars like Reed before they can challenge his throne as the ultimate apex predator? For Bronson Reed, this moment represents the ultimate crossroads of his entire career trajectory. The question everyone's asking is whether he can bounce back from this devastating assault, channel all that pain and humiliation into pure rocket fuel, and prove to the WWE Universe that he's not just another casualty left broken in Lesnar's destructive path, but a future main eventer who can stand toe-to-toe with the Beast himself. This attack could either completely derail everything Reed has been building toward, or it could become the catalyst that transforms him into a legitimate superstar with a revenge story that fans will rally behind like their lives depend on it. Moments like these don't just test physical resilience, they forge the kind of character that separates future legends from wrestlers who fade into obscurity. WWE programming is now facing a fascinating turning point because Lesnar's ferocity could mark the beginning of a new era of storytelling that leans heavily into raw brutality and visceral emotion, taking the product back to the kind of intensity that keeps fans glued to their screens and creates water cooler conversations that last for years. The company has always walked that incredibly thin line between sports entertainment and genuine danger. And Lesnar's assault felt like WWE reminding everyone that chaos is never more than one suplex away from changing everything. When the Beast makes a move, it doesn't just affect his immediate target, it sends shockwaves through the entire roster. Because everyone knows he doesn't ask permission, he doesn't give warnings, he simply takes what he wants. Every superstar in that locker room is now looking over their shoulder wondering if they could be next, because Brock Lesnar has proven once again that he operates by his own rules in a universe where unpredictability is the only constant, and violence is always just one bad decision away from ruining someone's entire career. So, wrestling fanatics, I'm throwing this question directly at you, because your theories and reactions are what make this community incredible. What do you think comes next in this absolutely insane situation? Will Bronson Reed rise from these ashes like a phoenix and come back stronger than ever to get his revenge? Or has Brock Lesnar just crushed another promising career to prove that his dominance cannot be challenged by anyone? Could this be the opening shot of what becomes one of WWE's most shocking rivalries of the year? Or are we witnessing just the beginning of a wider rampage where Lesnar systematically reminds everyone that he's still the most dangerous man in the entire industry? Drop all your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments because this story is too massive to ignore and every single opinion matters. If you enjoyed this deep dive into pure wrestling chaos, smash that like button right now. Subscribe to WWE Drama for more breakdowns of the wildest stories and most shocking moments in wrestling. And don't forget to ring that notification bell so you never miss an update when the next bombshell drops. This is just the beginning of something absolutely massive, and we'll be here every step of the way to break down every twist, turn, and bone-crushing development as this story unfolds. Wrestling is unpredictable, brutal, emotional, and always full of surprises that nobody sees coming. And tonight, Brock Lesnar just proved that better than anyone else could. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll catch you in the next video where we'll hopefully have more answers about what Brock's ultimate endgame really is.